All right, perfect. Thank you guys so much for jumping on tonight. I really appreciate it. So tonight we are going to be hearing from Jamie Burke, who is a diamond coach. And she has just totally rocked her business through being herself. And so tonight she's going to talk about that. But first, I want to give some recognition to some well-deserved coaches. And these coaches will all be invited to our exclusive online party. And I will be sending out some little gifts to all be a part of this. So we'll all kind of open them up while we're on our little party and have some fun. So I will let you guys know when those go out, and then we'll set a date because I want to make sure everybody gets it before our date night. So, okay, so we have Ashley Hughes, Tanya Comer, Maggie Luking, Caitlin Hainman, Taylor Heverly, Elena Casapula, Jessica Menez, Leslie Morgan, Priya Masif, Rachel Simpson, Amanda Salcedo, Kyle Devlin, Whitney Knight, Brittany Cooley, and Jenna Desiderio will all be joining us because they hit Success Club for the month of October. So congratulations, you guys. I'm excited to have a little party with you. You guys killed it. I know this time of year is not the easiest, but you have proven that you can still be helping people during this month. So congratulations to you, also to everybody else who has helped anyone this past month. Congratulations, because it doesn't matter if you're just helping one life or 20. You are still making a difference. So that is what we are all about. So I want to thank you for reaching out to people and being willing to help change people's lives and become more healthy and just live a better life. So thank you for that. I hope y'all are on a Fall Classic team. If you're not, it is too late to join. But for those of you, sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. For those of you who are on teams, I would highly recommend getting together with your team at least once a week, maybe on a Zoom call, strategizing, trying to figure out, what your goals are and then how to execute them. So get creative, create maybe some free groups the beginning of the month. So by the end of the month, they understand what these challenge groups are about and they want to jump on board. Another goal of yours during this month while you are on a Fall Classic team should be to rank advance. Rank advancing does not have to be difficult. It is just inviting people to join you as a coach. Coaching is the same exact thing as being a part of challenge groups. It's a great opportunity for people to change their lives drastically, also in a financial way. So, don't be afraid to share that opportunity. It is something that truly can change lives in incredible ways. And it's also a great way to stay accountable to your own health and fitness goals. So be sharing the coaching opportunity. We are going to be starting the coach apprenticeship on next Monday for November. So keep inviting. You have time. If you already have coaches that want to be a part of it, let me know and I'll add you to the group and you can add your coaches in as well. So that's going to be starting this upcoming Monday. Then I'm going to be hosting a holiday survival guide accountability group that's going to run through both the holidays. I haven't decided yet if it's going to go through the new year, but it is going to start on the 16th. Okay, so November 16th, that'll give us time to do the preseason. We'll have Thanksgiving and then be able to kind of hit it hard in between the two major holidays and feel good about it before the new year. So that's what we're going to be doing starting the 16th. There's also a lot of other groups that are going on between, different coaches on the team. So if you need to put challengers somewhere, or if you're not sure of what to be inviting to, we can all post what groups we're hosting, and then you can decide, what you want to invite to. So we'll set that up. So this month, once again, you really want to be hitting Success Club 5. Remember, that's helping 3 lives. There are so many people out there that need us, that need you. So just helping 3 people is not that difficult. You just need to get out there and find the right people, and allow them to see the opportunity and how important it is for them to do this. They need to see the value in it. So if you need help understanding that, we have tons of calls in our file section for you to understand Shakeology, understand, why what we have to offer is so valuable. And when they believe that they need this for themselves, then the price is not a problem. And even this time of year won't be a problem. So just be upping the numbers of people that you're talking to so that you can be able to help the amount of people that you want to this month. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Jamie. As I had mentioned, she is somebody who is a mom of 2. She runs her own daycare in home. And so, she's busy. She's got, I don't even know, you can fill in the gaps, but like 6 kids on a day-to-day basis. So it's hectic in her house. And she still has found the time to work her business. And she's found it that being herself and being true to herself and who she is has been what is driving her business. So Jamie, I am going to hand it on over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Can everyone hear me okay? I know the feed is just a little choppy. Loud enough, thumbs up, all righty. So yes, like Amy said, tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about being yourself, which seems like that should be a no-brainer, but it's actually something that a lot of newer coaches or coaches that get stuck in a rut seem to kind of fall away from and move away from. Like Amy said, I started this, actually it was a year ago this week. I started out as a challenger. I became a coach back in February, and I have gotten to know many, many coaches during the process. Gotten involved in several different team calls, listening to the National Wake Up Call. And through all of this, I've kind of been figuring out, like, what's my part in this greater picture? What's my piece of the puzzle? And at the end of the day, it's just being myself. I am real, I am honest. I tell my challengers and my potential customers the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. Some days it doesn't go so smoothly. Some days it is way more difficult to be a challenger, to go through my own health and fitness journey. Some days it's very difficult to be a coach. Some days it's very difficult to be a mom. And I'm honest about all of those things. And at the end of the day, that's what connects me to my challengers. They see me as a real person with real struggles, with real successes, and it's somebody that they can relate to. When Amy first approached me about joining with Beachbody, I looked up to her. She inspired me. She had so much knowledge. She was so extremely fit, but I knew I could never be Amy. I am not Amy, and I couldn't try and portray myself as Amy because that's not who I was. And just the same thing with, like I said, I get on other coach calls and I kind of take away pieces of what they do successfully, and I learn from them, but I'm not trying to be them because that's not me and I would be pretending. There will be people that bond with each of us as different coaches for different reasons, and basically our customers will want to work with us. They will want to learn from us. That's why they're going to pick you have to obviously follow all the 3 vital behaviors, constantly be inviting, constantly be bettering yourself with professional development, and obviously be a proof of the product, but do all of this while staying true to yourself. And that's going to define who you are as a coach and how successful you can be. With that being said, something that's kind of been talked about on some of these calls is that we are selling we're selling ourselves. We're not necessarily selling Beachbody. So yes, Beachbody worked for us, but we're not necessarily selling Beachbody just the products. So when you're out there talking to your customers and you're out there reaching out to new potential customers, you want to be marketing not P90X or T25 or Shakeology. You want to market yourself and how you have utilized these programs to better you. We have all done it where we've gone and placed the stock photo. I do it every once in a while. Every once in a while I have my flash sale, or I just need a really quick post to get up on the internet and my 7 kids are not cooperating. So we've all done it, but as much as possible, really try and market yourself, your own personal image, and not these stock photos from Beachbody, so that people are seeing you as a coach, you as a person. And when you do use the stock photos, or when you do borrow from the internet, one little tangent that I just want to go on is make sure you're very, very, very careful about what you're posting. Always proofread, and always make sure that the image is professional, is accurate, and if you are borrowing it, that that you just check in with that other coach first, and that you make sure it looks very clear and concise who it's coming from. So that is somewhat it in a nutshell. If anybody has any questions, we can certainly open it up to everybody. I know it seems pretty simple, just be yourself, but like I said, when you're in a pinch, sometimes we panic and we kind of grab at straws, but at the end of the day, just keep doing what you're doing, be yourself, and people will respect you for that.
Yeah, so this is something that, like Jamie said, is very, I think, difficult at first when you're a brand new coach, because I don't want to say you don't fully know who you are, but you aren't necessarily sure of how you want to run your business. And so, if you've been through, the coach basics, that we talk about these 5 rocks. And so what they are is the 5 things that you would define yourself as, or that are the most important things to you. And those are the 5 things that are always your go-to. Those are the things that your followers will expect from you. So for example, mine is faith, fitness, food, family, and motivation type stuff. So like fearlessness. And so I always incorporate those things into my posts, and people expect that from me. They know that's who I am. And so, every once in a while I'll show, something with my kids and something, but it's usually always relates back into, I'm talking about the fitness or life in general, like how you're going about your life, something motivational. So, people want to know who you are, And that's what they're going to follow you for. They're not going to follow you for those stock photos. If anything, they will unfollow you for those stock photos. So something that, and believe me, as a new coach, if I were to go back and look at stuff when I was a brand new coach, I know I posted like Shaun T25 like over and over and over and over again. And like that was a huge mistake. And it worked for a little while, but then people got annoyed with me. And to me, I think especially, I realized like I don't want to be a salesperson, and that's not what we're here for. We're not here to be salespeople. And like, I'm sure you have seen, other companies, maybe even Beachbody coaches, but mainly other companies do it more so. I think, like the It Works people. It's like you go on their Instagram and within not even a second that what they do, because it's, picture of this fat burner, picture of this, and it's like, yuck, right? Like it's so icky, and we don't want to be those icky people. You have to think of who you are, being true to yourself, and what being true to yourself, what you're going to provide to people. So, if you are a mom, think about all those different things, who you are, like, and what you do as a mom. How do you get your workouts in when you have kids and when they're crawling all over you? Talk about it. How do you eat healthy? How do you make healthy foods for you and your family? What are the go-to recipes? Share your recipes. Give away these free things and free tips. That's what people are going to follow you for, and they're going to relate to you because you attract people that are like yourself. So that's why the majority of the people that follow me are, I would say most of them are followers of Christ, and they are moms. That's just who I attract, because that's what I talk about. So whatever you talk about is the type of people that you're going to attract. If you're just posting stock photos, you're not going to attract anybody, because nobody wants to see stock photos, So for, like, Amanda is a teacher. So she, talks about teaching, and she brings that aspect into stuff. Kyle is a wrestling coach and a teacher, so he talks about those things too. Whatever it is, figure out what your hobbies are and bring that into your business. People want to know you. They don't want to know what Shaun T looks like. Even though I do. I love Shaun T. But yeah, so all right, I'm going to see real quick what, I know we had some comments here. It's hard posting so much and feeling like you're not annoying people. Scary. Yeah, it especially Maggie as a new coach. So this is something I think as a new coach, you really have to be strong in who you are, because this is the time when you're going to get ridiculed the most. When you're a brand new coach is when you get ridiculed the most. And I did a post about it the other day, because it's true. Like, people will tell you can't do it. People will unfriend you. People will say that you're annoying. People will literally flat out be like, I saw like you're posting this stuff. I don't want to be a part of it. Like, that is, and it can be so discouraging. But you have to know in your heart that you are doing something bigger, and you have a purpose, and that, other people's opinions don't matter, because everybody is always going to have an opinion, right? If you rule your life by other people's opinions, you'll never do anything, because you're never going to please everybody. So you have to take that risk and kind of put your blinders on and get that thick skin. And like, just an example, when I was pregnant and I shared, my whole, because I was a Beachbody coach with my third son, and through that whole pregnancy, I shared everything I was doing. I shared my struggles. I shared that I was drinking my Shakeology. I shared my workouts, and my workouts were probably more extreme than well, okay, they were way more extreme than like the normal pregnant person, I would say. And so believe me, I got messages, I got comments, people saying you shouldn't be doing that. Is that really healthy for the baby? You're jeopardizing him. Oh, you're starving yourself just to look good while you're pregnant. Da, da, da. Like I got it all, right? But you kind of just have to be like, okay, like, brush off, because the truth is I did everything right. And unfortunately, our society has this warped view of what pregnancy should look like. And you think about like back in the day, women didn't stop. Like they were still working out in the fields. They, did all these things and they still had babies, healthy babies. So, be firm in who you are and believe and know that you're doing the right thing, no matter what other people are saying. And sometimes it's hard because it's like the closest people to you, like maybe your parents or your siblings or, best friends. And it sucks. It can totally suck. But I'll tell you, you get to a point where it becomes the most freeing thing because you can be yourself unapologetically. And these comments just become like a fuel that, it's like, well, okay, like that's your opinion, but it's cool. And that's the beauty too of social media. You can block people, you can delete things. You don't have to listen to everybody, you don't have to be friends with everybody. So, you get to choose who you interact with. So yeah, it totally can be something scary, but I promise if you continue with your personal development, you just get that thick skin, put that tunnel vision on, and don't let people's comments affect you, then you will be golden and you will go places that you could never imagine. I mean, the stuff I share, I was talking to Jamie today about this, and we were talking about specifically my pregnancy and how, I was very honest, and I told them when I struggled, and I told them when I didn't want to work out. I just wanted to lay on this couch, but I knew that I had to do it. And, I told people before Ethan was born that I was going to share my journey back into my fit body. And so right after I gave birth, it was 8 hours after I gave birth, I took a photo of what I looked like and my stomach and everything. And, without comparing myself to other people, I was uncomfortable posting that. Like, I don't know. Like, if you've had kids, you're like insecure a little bit after you have a baby because you're just like, what is wrong with my body? Like, you're just like, I'm not me, And so it's a hard journey. It is. It's a hard journey. And, it could take months, years to get back to where you were. So it's very scary to share those things, but making yourself vulnerable will make people want to be a part of what you're doing and want to follow you because you are putting yourself out there. You are getting out of your comfort zone. Becoming vulnerable is exposing yourself, but it's also bringing people into your world and saying, look, like this is real life. This sucks. Like I'm in pain. I'm this, I'm that. Like I don't feel good. I don't look like myself right now, but this is what I'm going to do. And so being vulnerable with being yourself is really what is going to get you there. Like I said to Jamie, I cringed like posting that, but I knew I had to. And it was like the most amazing thing because it frees you and it also connects you to people that you would never imagine. And it also gives you like a support system that you wouldn't think. Amongst those a couple like negative people, you get this support from a community that you wouldn't, you don't really understand who all is watching you until people comment, right? You don't know who's really watching you. And so when you share your struggles and you're honest with what you're going through, it also allows people to come around you at the same time. So, you know, being you is like the biggest part of this business, because like Jamie said, you are selling you, really. You're not selling Shakeology. You're not selling, you know, Shailene Johnson's next program or Autumn Calabrese. You're selling yourself. That's why people will work with you, not because of the programs you have. Yes, the programs are the solution, but they could work. They could go buy that program off of Amazon for much cheaper. Why do they want to buy it from you? Because they connect with you, right? So that's why it's so important to get those 5 rocks down and really, really hone in on every single post you do most. Because like Jamie said, every once in a while you do, you know, you do post something, a stock photo or whatever it is. That's okay. As long as the majority of your stuff is you in the raw, truly who you are, sharing your struggles. That is what is going to get people to want to work with you, because they build a trust in you, even though you might not have ever really talked to them, but they build this trust in you and the friendship in you that you might not even realize, which is why being vulnerable is so important. Let me see. One thing that I'm going to do is take all the positive. Sorry, I'm reading these comments. Gotten since I posted my transfers. That's a really great idea, Priya. So, you know, also too, when people do comment on your stuff, it's really important to say thank you. So, you know, when people it's easy to like things. It's easy to like people's comments on your stuff. But if you actually take the time to say thank you so much for that comment, that is a way for you to interact now with them, and kind of engage more in that, showing that appreciation for your followers, showing that appreciation for people who comment and like on your stuff is very important. Very, very important. So that's a great idea. She said that I don't know if you guys read it, she's going to take all the positive messages, texts, emails I've gotten since I posted my transformation story and place it on the cover of my planner. So yeah, that's like a recognition type thing that you're going to be able to look at every day and help you, right? Help you get through things and push through. So yeah, and that's kind of like making a dream board, I would say. We talk about, you know, those reminders. You can put them out throughout your house. You know, I have different things throughout my house. I have a lot of Bible verses, you know, that help me push through my days, and things like that. So great idea, Priya. Yes, gratitude goes a long, long way. All right, awesome. So does anybody have any questions about that? Or want to add anything? Do any coaches want to add anything? You can unmute yourself.
I would just say, like, one thing that I have talked to Jamie about and some other coaches is that you should make sure when you're posting, you know, like you said too, Amy, is that you have to be like real. So when I post, like I put a lot of time and effort into my posts. Like I don't just like slop things together. Like I really will try to make it as cutesy as possible. And a lot of that is the teacher in me, like making things cute and going like, does this color coordinate with this color?
Yeah.
But coaches are more than like happy to help you look at stuff. I send stuff to Kyle and Jamie all the time before I post it and say, does this look good? Do you like this? Mm-hmm. And they're always like, yeah, but it's good to get that feedback. So don't feel like weird asking people for help, because people are willing to listen to you and want to help you. So
yeah, absolutely. And along with that, I would say, I don't remember if you mentioned this, Jamie, but you know, you want to be professional about this. And that doesn't mean everything has to be perfect, because as you know, I have so many spelling errors in my posts, and autocorrect is sometimes fail. But, you know, people get what you're saying, but the biggest thing is your photos, because your pictures in what you're saying is what actually draws people in to want to read what you have to say. If your photo is not intriguing, they're not going to read paragraphs of your story. They're just not. So, you know, get creative. And I know some of you might not be creative, but you can utilize ideas from other coaches. You know, I don't always come up with my own ideas. I mean, I will see things that other coaches do or quotes that, you know, other people have posted. And I'm like, oh, I really love that. Take a snapshot of it. Then I make it my own and I do my own photos and I put my own twist on it. So, you know, I'm not like this creative genius over here. I am constantly looking for ideas that get sparked from other people, or maybe like online, or, you know, if I Google the quote for blah, 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 like, you know, I'm getting ideas from other places that help spark stuff. Also, my personal development give me great ideas for posts. So if you're stuck and you're like, I don't know what to post, do some personal development. Promise it will give you something. But make it look semi-professional. You don't want it to look like, you know, slopped together and like a kindergartner could have done it. You know, like, we are $1 million company. Maybe you're not making $1 million right now, but you could be. So treat it like it is. Be professional. Try to make things, you know, look the best as you can. And once again, it is about practice. I didn't know how to use any of these apps when I started. It just was a matter of trial and error and playing around with these apps. I'm still not, you know, the best at it. I'm sure there's other apps that are awesome that I don't use. But I make the best of what I am using, and I try to make things look as professional as possible. Real quick, I know this is like a little off the topic of tonight, but like, for example, like you don't want a lot of collages. You, especially on Instagram, you want it clean. You want it to be easy to see. If you have too many collages on there, it's like, because it's small. It's a small space. You want mostly single photos. You don't want too many words on there because it's too hard to read. You want pictures to be lighter. It's attractive to the eye, not dark. And one thing that I've started doing is creating more space between your photos. So I am going into, I don't know if there's an easier way to do this. There might be. I know like Square Ready, I think will do something similar, but I go into my app that I use, and I typically will use my Rona design, and I put my photo into the square how I want it, and then I will create space on the top and bottom, so it's almost like it's framed with white. So I do a little bit of space on the top and a little bit of space on the bottom. If I can't do that with my photo, so like if it's a vertical photo, then I will go into the banners, get one of those banners that go straight across. I make it really big, and I put one on the bottom and I put one on the top. So now my photo looks framed, and when it's in Instagram, it creates more space in between the photos. So it's very clean and concise. It's not like all these photos like, okay? And you can make photos lighter on Instagram, so brighten them up. You know, so just get familiar with the apps. If you need help, I mean, seriously guys, Google and YouTube everything. Like, YouTube has everything, tutorials on everything and anything you want. So if you're not sure how to use an app, or, you know, how to do certain things, just look it up. So, you know, those are just little tricks that you can use. And also one thing that I want to add is, if you're busy, I mean, I know I'm really busy. I I don't have time to ever, and I'll be honest, like I look like crap most days. So like I don't wear makeup. I stay home all day. So I don't put makeup on. I, probably haven't showered. I'm in sweatpants and well, like I usually am on here in my workout gear. And I'm usually in my workout gear in my photos anyways, but like whenever I am dressed, I'm taking a million photos. Whenever I am like looking decent, I'm taking a million photos. And the reason for that is if you can set aside like 20 minutes, maybe not even, but if you can set aside 20 minutes like once a week to do photos, you have stockpiled a ton of photos for the rest of the week. So you don't have to feel pressured to take these photos every single day, because I don't, believe me. I have figured out that I teach classes on Wednesdays. So after I teach class, I take all of my videos, well, most of them, I do my videos and I do a lot of my photos. And so now I have this whole library of a ton of photos and a ton of videos. So throughout the week, I just pick from them and I add quotes or I add whatever I want to, and voila. So when you have the time, create that time, maybe once a week, like I said, so that you don't have to every single day post these photos. Like, thank God I do that, because I was so sick last week. And let me tell you, like, none of those photos I posted were me that day, because I was like dying on the couch. So if I didn't have those photos saved, like I would have nothing. I wouldn't have anything to post other than me laying on the couch. I feel like crap, So that's just another tip. Utilize the fact that we have phones that you can do like a million photos in 10 minutes and they're quick and they're simple. And I mean, think of how many moves, how many different videos you could make, 15-second videos you could make in just 10 minutes. A lot. You guys can make a ton. 5 minutes, in 5 minutes. How many 15-second videos could you make? Right? You can make a ton. So you would be set for the entire week. You could post one video every single day. If your passion is about the fitness side of this, then start posting some videos of yourself. Like I said, people want to see you. They want to see what you're doing. So think about these things, prepare ahead of time so that you're not stressed and like, I don't know what to post. Okay. So you always have something to go back to. Some of my favorite apps, I don't use PicLab. I use the main ones I use I do use Instabeauty sometimes. But honestly, mostly I use burst mode for my photos. So whenever I'm taking pictures, I use burst mode. So I just set my camera up, and you can set it up to take it like every second, every half second, whatever it is. And then you can just pose a million different times, and then you go back to it and you save the different photos that you want, delete the rest. So that's what I use for my photos. For my videos, I use just my normal camera. I put it on video. I start the video. I go do my thing. And then you can trim the video. So if you click up top where it plays across, you just put your finger on it and drag it in to where you want, and you can save them as new clips. So you can just do one long video if you have the space for it, and then trim it down to all those different video clips that you want to save so that it's not showing you walking in, walking out, okay? And then for like the actual apps, so what I usually use for writing on my photos is Rhona Design. That's RHONNA. That one I think you do have to pay for, but it's like $1, maybe $2, I don't know. There's Word Swag, which is another fun one to put. It kind of has like creates a design with your words. I like that one. And then for my videos, when I do like split screens, or if I do music to my videos, I do pick, play, post. So PICPLAYPOST, pick, play, post. And whenever you see writing under my stuff, I just create the writing in Rona Design, and then I put it in pick, play, post in one of the things. So, and then I use Splice. So today I posted a video of my like a workout, and you'll see it like fades into, it'll be like me doing something and then it fades into me doing something else. I use Splice for. So you put the different little clips into Splice and it will transition them. So a lot of times I use 2 different apps. Like that one, I did Splice first, and then I put it into pick, play, post. Those are the ones I use the most. There's also a cool one my sister uses. I haven't downloaded yet. I think it's called Enlight. I think she does really cool stuff with it. Let me see if I have it on my phone. I can ask her. I think it's called, I think it's called Enlight. I don't know. I'll find out for you. But she always makes some really cool photos with that. Does anybody have any? Those are all for iPhone. So I don't know, Kyle, you have Droid. What are some of the ones you use?
Let's see real quick. I just mainly use Photofy and PhotoGrid. That's what I mean. Those are pretty simple. I tried that pick, play, post one before. I just didn't. It didn't go over well for me. Maybe I didn't know how to work it, but
yeah, I mean some of them you have to play around a little bit with. That app is called Enlight, ENLIGHT. But like I didn't know how to do a lot of this stuff with like Rona Design, but it's just a matter of clicking around and figuring it out. But I really like pick, play, post, but I know there's other video apps out there. That's just the one I use. Does anybody have any other ones that they really like? I know a lot of people use Photofy, but I don't know if there was like a glitch in that one. No. Oh, they fixed the glitch. Awesome. Yeah, Photofy is fun because they have different like images, so you can look up fitness and it will bring up like barbells and things like that, where Rona doesn't have that stuff. It's more of like words and like a couple design type things. No. So Maggie's asking if other coaches get upset with you adding their challengers to their challenge groups, and no. Our team is really a team. I can't speak for other teams, but as far as Fearless and Fit goes, like we really welcome anybody and everybody into our challenge groups. So always feel welcome to add challengers to different groups. So we can post, if everybody's cool with this, we can post tonight the different groups that are coming up for the month, because I know there's a bunch of different coaches hosting different things. So you can decide, what ones you feel would be best to invite to, and then, go from there. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything to add?
yeah, Jamie rocked the call. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, so just to pull things back in. So I would encourage you, if you do not know your 5 rocks yet, get them down pat, and then decide what it is that you're really, really wanting to share with people. Because what you do is, you kind of need, the 5 rocks are a great way to start, but you also need a direction. Like, what is it that you really want to get across to people? What is it that's really going to connect them in? For some people, it is the fact that, they're a mom. And so with that, I would say, really, really include your children in a lot of, like, do videos, do workout videos. How do you use your children as weights, or how do you create meals for you and your family, or what are some great toddler foods that are healthy? So really gear it towards that motherhood, and really engage and bring your kids into everything that you do, and post it out. So, or maybe it's nursing, really, really talk about how you, as a nurse or doctor or whatever it is, stay healthy with these crazy hours, and how your shake has helped you, or how you meal prep for it. Pick 1 or 2 things that you can really hone in on this month and talk about that create, or are who you are, because that is what is going to set you apart. This is what is going to make people work with you versus all of those other Beachbody coaches out there. There's tons of them now, but that doesn't mean that you can't be successful at that. And believe me, other people who have worked with coaches are gonna, if they haven't gotten the support, they're gonna come to you because they build a trust in you and they see what you're doing. So just because there's a lot of coaches out there does not mean anything. Okay? It does not mean anything. You just be you, and seriously talk about it. Show your struggles. Talk about who you are, what you do on a daily basis, how you survive, how you, work through things, how, whatever it is. But really, really engage and embrace who you are, and don't be afraid to share it. And one thing too, Jamie, if you want to talk about this really quick, Jamie was not a Facebook person before this. Before coaching, she was not a Facebook person. So she kind of has had, I don't want to say start from scratch, but like, she really had to build her business from not being on Facebook. Like, she was there, but she wasn't posting, right? So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. Yeah, when I started, I kind of had like 2 issues going against me. 1, I was not super active on Facebook. I was quite private. And 2, I was like 170 pounds, couldn't button my, my fat jeans. And all of a sudden I was like, hey, join my challenge groups. So, I kind of had to figure out, like, how are people going to take me seriously and see that this is like an awesome, awesome thing to be a part of, and look at me as a health and fitness coach. So I did 2 things when I started out. I went around and I really started engaging on Facebook, not as it pertained to Beachbody, but just engaging on Facebook. So rather than texting my friends that I was normally texting, I was messaging them on Facebook. I was posting on their walls. I was commenting on pictures, liking photos, and I was getting kind of myself back up on social media. And then I was posting a lot. And I know that it was said earlier on the call that, oh, it seems weird that I'm going to post all this stuff and bother people. But rather than posting 4 times a day for a challenge group and coming out of, left field as all of a sudden having this interest in health and fitness, just post about yourself. Be real. Post about it and say, hey, I used to go to ShopRite twice a week to do my grocery shopping, and I would get donuts every time I went. And now I walk right past it. I don't have any interest in the donuts because I drink my Shakeology. And you're not selling. Not every post is a sale, is a, a marketing ploy. It's just putting yourself out there, showing what you're doing, being proof of the product, showing how you're changing, so that all of a sudden when you go to invite somebody to a challenge group, or you invite somebody into coaching, they're like, oh, I saw this. I've seen you posting about this. I know what you're talking about. And it's not so, it's not so random. It's not so out in left field.
Yeah. And that brings up another amazing point that we need to talk about is consistency. You can't expect to post about a challenge group if you haven't set that initial ground for talking about what you're doing. And like Jamie said, you don't have to be out there in your face like, woo, here's my shake. Like, you can just talk about, like she just said, I used to want those donuts, and now I can just walk past them because I know I have my shake, and that has helped me fight off that craving. And so that is not a sale. That is not that is subtly promoting, but it's not like, check out this shake. It is, this is how it's helping my life. This is daily, an example of how my life has changed. And giving those daily examples, or showing, whatever it is that you're doing, that consistency has to be there in order for those hooks, meaning those times when you're actually inviting, to work. If you only are doing that and expecting people to jump on board, and you're like, I don't understand why, like, I'm posting about, the challenge groups, I don't understand why they're not joining, go back and look at your consistency. Are you posting 2 to 3 times a day? Are you talking about how it's changed your life? Are you talking about how it fits into your life daily? Are you talking about your struggles? Are you talking about, how when you're so busy and you're running out the door and you didn't have time to make lunch, you can grab a shake, or how it's convenient, or how, whatever it is. If you're not talking about those things and how it actually is working in your life and how it fits into your life, people are gonna be like, what's this all about? Like, you haven't given me any proof that I should do this. So, and especially as a brand new coach, this is so important because everybody is so skeptical of you. They expect this to be a phase. They expect it to just be like, oh, she's doing this again. Like, she's going to stop this in a month. You know what I mean? So consistency is so crucial. And you have to be present on social media because people don't see you if you're not, right? And there's times when like Sunday, I don't think I posted at all. Now, granted, that's very rare that ever happens because I was so sick. But sometimes, I've built up 2.5 years of consistency. Taking a day of not posting isn't going to hurt me. But I've been consistent for 2.5 years, and some days I'll post more than others. But it's the fact that I'm present and that I'm talking about it daily. And it's not the same thing daily. It can be subtle things like Jamie gave a great example of. All right. So any last questions, comments?
Quick shout out to Elena, just hit Emerald today.
Woo! Great job. That is awesome. Congratulations. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys getting on these calls. We will be doing our 6 a.m. power hour on Thursday morning. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about any of this, I know, especially if you haven't put yourself out there yet, it can be a little scary, but you can do it, and people will just be drawn to you. And so the 6 a.m. power hour is basically a time that we don't do too much talking. Sometimes we do. Sometimes it's more of like a mini, session of something like this. But most of the time, basically a power hour is a time that we get back on Zoom, and we try to contact around 20 people in the morning, just saying, hi, how are you? We might create a post for our morning post. We just do, our daily, basically, to-do list in the morning for an hour. And so it's a great time because not a lot of people are on social media at that time. So we're able to reach out to a lot of people, and then throughout the day they get back to us. So it's really cool. It's just that hour to devote to work without too many distractions. Most of the time the kids are still sleeping. Not always. But it's a time to kind of get together, have our little power hour together, hold each other accountable. So the more people, the better. We really like seeing each other, right out of bed, rolling out of bed. Cool thing is we don't get to smell each other, so we won't smell your stinky breath if you didn't brush your teeth. So yeah, anybody is welcome. And like I said, the more the merrier. So how do you get people in your challenge groups for Smyrna? Okay, so Amy is asking, how do you get people in your challenge groups to participate more? It can be hard. And I'll tell you, sometimes you have challenge groups that you either have like crazy participation or no participation. Like I have had both, and it is a struggle. You can sometimes give little incentives. Like we have found sometimes that like little prizes will work. So saying, you get points for posting your, photo of you and your shake today, or a photo of your water or your meal, things like that. Asking them questions is a great way to do that. Maybe asking them, what would you like more in this group? Do you want more recipes? Do you want more, whatever it is? Yeah, Priya is saying prizes, games. Yes. Tagging people in posts, that's a great way too. And yeah, interacting with them, which I know it can be hard if they're not interacting, but by tagging them is a great way to be like, hey, Ashley, come on, like talking to you, girl, so that's a great way to, but yeah, some people aren't into challenge groups. Like they're in them, but they don't want to participate, but they're still there, So I would message them on the side and ask them how they're doing. Some people just aren't into that group participation thing, which, that's okay, as long as if they're doing the stuff, that's the most important thing. It's just sometimes you get groups that are not as interactive. You can only do so much. So you do as much as you can, and you can give them these little incentives. But at the end of the day, you can't make anybody do anything, right? So just do what you can. And like I said, I would on the side make sure that they don't need extra help. Maybe they're lost, maybe they don't get it. Message them, make sure that everything's okay, and see if you can help them in any other way. And you can even ask them, be like, hey, like, would you mind participating a little bit more in the group? Like, I love hearing, from you, or maybe even give them something to do. So if you give them a, like, hey, I'm going to be so busy today. I know that you've been on track. Would you mind posting today about a healthy recipe, your favorite recipe? Or could you post today on your favorite Shakeology, or how Shakeology's helped you? Give them a little assignment. And a lot of times that is like really cool for them. They're like, oh, I can do that? Awesome, And yeah, Priya also said, first setting the expectation that they check in daily. I try and set that up at the beginning, and sometimes it gets lost in the mix, but, saying at the beginning of your challenge group, I want everybody to check in daily. I usually have them rate their Shakeology, their water intake, and Shakeology is basically yes or no, I drank it. 1 to 5, how much water they had, 1 to 5, their workout, and then 1 to 5, their food. And so giving them that little assignment saying, hey, like, I want you guys checking in daily so I know you're doing this, gives them that set expectation right off the bat that they kind of need to be checking in daily. Anything else? No? All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Have a wonderful week. I hope to see you guys bright and early Thursday morning for our power hour, and have a wonderful night. All right, thanks guys. Have a great one.